Cobra Kai Season 4 has been released. Once again, it has delivered. This season is a roller coaster ride of emotions. Characters are constantly fluctuating, trying to find their balance in this season. When Season 3 ended, you kicked your leg in the air. Yeah, Johnny and Daniel are teaming up. For a year, we are thinking this is exactly what needs to happen. It turns out combining dojos was a disaster. We see that in the first episode. Maybe the funniest moment in the season is when Daniel is instructing his students quietly and Johnny yells in the background, "Stop whining like a little bitch. Get up. Don't punch him in the balls." The comedy in this show is off the charts as well as the action. Also another curveball the writers threw at us. We all thought Terry Silver would embrace Kreese when he called him. Silver hung up the phone. Kreese had to go to Silver's mansion and convince him. There's some criticism of Karate Kid Part 3. Silver is very cartoonish, but he was directed to play the role like that. Season 4 of Cobra Kai validates the movie in that performance. Silver said he was hopped up on cocaine the entire time, and he was ashamed that he terrorized a teenager over a high school karate tournament. Silver's cleaned up his life, but he is living a lie, suppressing the monster. It comes out a little bit when Kreese mentions LaRusso. Silver perks up and smiles and says,
"Danny boy?
Silver is one of the many characters that change throughout the season. In his case, he got darker each episode, while others either went lighter or back and forth. At the Cobra Kai dojo, I loved how Tori called everyone out for their performance at the house fight. Tori technically didn't lose her fight with Sam and kicked a bunch of ass. She ripped Kyler apart for losing to Miguel, who just got out of a wheelchair. Like so many characters in this show, every line from Kyler is good. I wanted to see more from him. I was hoping he'd evolve into a giant threat at Cobra Kai. He did do well in the tournament as expected, but he wasn't a killer. I liked how they did mention Robbie didn't go to the house fight. I was wondering why he didn't go as well. The reasoning is he's still technically not in Cobra Kai and thought it was stupid. But he does quickly prove himself by kicking everyone's ass. At what point do we call Samantha a two-timing bitch? She finds Robbie at the skate park and tries to convince him to come back to Miyagi-Do. It appears she was just trying to be his friend, but as the season went on, you could tell she still has feelings for him. I was convinced she wanted the Miguel D for the first 3 seasons, but she might actually want the Robbie D. The Kenny scenes were good, but initially I was questioning, why was it taking up so much screen time? The end of the episode was great. Sean, the bully from Juvie, is the older brother, and he tells him to find Robbie. I like this scene because Sean and Robbie, they didn't just have mutual respect for each other, they actually became buddies after their fight. That's why he's telling his brother to go find Robbie. Are we going to see Sean in Season 5? Is he going to have a big role? I almost think he'd get in the way of Kenny's story. Again, I liked Kenny's arc, but they spent a lot of time developing it. I wonder where they will go with it in Season 5. Anthony might be the only character on this show I don't like. He's such a little bitch boy. He was this spoiled fat kid in the first couple seasons. Now he hit puberty, thinned out, but he's still at heart that fat little bitch boy. It's unbelievable he disgraced the Miyagi-Do training, wax on, wax off, by hiring someone to clean the cars. Anthony is really what's wrong with this country today. A bunch of weak, spoiled bitches that don't want to do any work and whine when things don't go their way. I think the show brilliantly showed Miyagi-Do was not going to be effective with him. He's too weak to be in Kreese's Cobra Kai. Johnny is the perfect sensei for him. Anthony's going to have to start training for next season, or Kenny is going to kick his ass. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing that a little. Samantha had an interesting arc in this season. Last season, she went from a scared little biznatch to overcoming her fears. Now she's on the offensive, bullying Tori. A lot of this has to do with Johnny's influence on her. How is that going to play out in Season 5? I really like the scene at the drive-thru. The Miyagi-Dos really own Cobra Kai with the sprinklers. Terry Silver is against revenge at first. Terry seems to be a changed guy. He wants to have a civilized talk with Daniel, but Daniel is not playing around with any bullshit. This triggers Terry and awakens the monster inside him even more. Daniel's explaining the situation to Johnny. He talks about the All Valley in Karate Kid Part 3. Johnny thinks it's bullshit. They gave Daniel a free pass to the finals, and it was bullshit. I'm glad the writers called that out. Daniel and Johnny have a rematch. This is essentially what we've been waiting for a few years now. It ended in a draw, and I was okay with that. I think it's fair to say Johnny and Daniel are even. If they had 10 matches, they'd each win 5. They've had encounters in the first 3 seasons. This season they fought. I think this is the last we'll see them fight each other. They are on good terms, and I don't see this changing. There's plenty of other matchups to be looking forward to. The prom episode was amazing. Robbie and Tori finally sort of admit that they have a thing for each other and go to prom. Terry Silver got his money's worth hooking up Robbie and Tori. They immediately get the attention of Miguel and Samantha. Then they pulled off some sick dance moves. Miguel and Samantha are clearly jealous and can't keep their eyes off of them. Also, Robbie and Tori aren't necessarily acting. Their feelings for each other are real, so they are really owning the prom. Their victory continues throughout the night. Miguel and Samantha are mad at each other. There's some shit talk and Samantha strikes first and attacks Tori. Miguel and Robbie get involved and we get a 2-on-2 prom battle. It ends with Tori getting a double kick on Miguel and Samantha, then all 3 end up in the pool, which is a victory for Cobra Kai because Robbie remains dry while the other 2 are wet. But Tori pulls Robbie in the pool and he doesn't care, which cements this victory even further. It ruined the night for Miguel and Samantha, and Robbie and Tori are in the pool having fun. Then to cap it all off, Robbie banged Tori in the Terry Silver car. The night went perfectly. The scene at the Cobra Kai dojo where they are talking about weaknesses is great. Silver responded to Tori and said yes, Kreese does have a weakness. This was not premeditated. He was just being honest with Tori. Kreese was really triggered by this. He shouldn't have been so triggered. He calls Terry out on this, and this gets into Silver's head and pushes him farther down the dark path. Silver sets up a trap for Johnny at the old Cobra Kai dojo, and Johnny falls right into the trap and gets his ass kicked. Kreese is not enjoying the beatdown and orders Silver to stop. Silver is really confused and upset over this. Stingray comes in the dojo again and Silver has been drinking. Now I gotta point out that this was very random. How much premeditation went into this? I don't think very much, if any. Stingray might be the only person that would follow through on a crazy plan like this to take down Kreese. Terry Silver might have recognized this in the moment after smacking him a couple times. He had to do something. He just beat the shit out of this guy. It's either him or Kreese at this point. That takes us to the tournament. I saw this coming, mixing up the genders. I think it had to be done. The skills competition, not the biggest fan of, but it makes it an actual event. Without it, you just have 2 All Valley tournaments. I thought the girls' tourney was a little weak. We all knew Samantha and Tori were clearly the best. I like the addition to Eagle Fang. She needs some more training. I was a little confused with Piper. Piper is woke, yet joins the Cobra Kai dojo. What exactly is woke about Cobra Kai? And she's Stolhawk's girl. I don't like her. The boys' tournament went well. Dimitri makes it to the semifinals. Respectable loss to Robbie. Kyler makes it to the quarterfinals, but goes out like a bitch. I questioned what they were doing with Hawk at the end of season 2 and the end of season 3. He has really fluctuated from dark to sort of dark, then to Miyagi-Do. He seemed to be at peace in Miyagi-Do, but he wasn't himself until Moon kissed him, giving him back his confidence. Next season, he's definitely going to be sticking with Miyagi-Do, but how is he going to conduct himself? Is he going to be chill Eli, or is he going to be the Hawk and just not an asshole? Miguel, I think a lot of people got to start rethinking Miguel's their favorite character. I have a hard time accepting that he left the tournament. Now, the way I justify it is he was injured. Had he gone out there, maybe he would have been only 70%. I think when you break it all down, expecting him to compete and win the All Valley after what happened to him was impossible. possible. I think he finally cracked physically and mentally. It's unfortunate because I predicted it would be a Robbie-Miguel rematch. I was convinced Robbie would win, making Cobra Kai unstoppable for season 5. But that was too predictable, so we got a rematch between Robbie and Hawk. It was a good fight. There seemed to be a moment where Robbie could have won, but he didn't throw the punch. Did he toss the match, or did his weakness get the better of him? Why is he thinking about Kenny in this match? I love Hawk, but I was disappointed Robbie didn't get the W. But Hawk proved to be the most balanced / skilled fighter in the match. And that is because Robbie is not comfortable in Cobra Kai. This kind of annoys me a little bit. When he cried to Johnny, it's a good scene, but it's another moment in this series where I felt it was a season early. I wanted to see more badass Cobra Kai Hawk, but he switched sides in season 3. I wanted to see more badass Cobra Kai Robbie, but he hesitated in the finals and lost, and now he seems like he's not going to stick with Cobra Kai. The girls' championship was good. Samantha is down 2-1. She clearly gets a point, but it is taken away by the ref, who is paid off by Silver. Samantha gets the next point, so she is technically the first to 3 points. Technically, she won. However, since it didn't play out like that because of the ref, Tori got the last point in the match, making her the winner 3-2. Now, even if you didn't rule Tori out of bounds for Samantha's second point, you can't assume Samantha would have got the third point. Hashtag the butterfly effect. If the ref doesn't intervene, that changes everything. Samantha could have slipped and fell down after that point. She could have completely choked in the next exchange. We don't know what would have happened, but it's hard accepting Tori as the true champion, knowing what the ref did. The thing is though, Miguel cheated in his match with Robbie in last year's All Valley. He purposely tried to rip Robbie's arm off, and he attacked Robbie's injury the whole fight. But no one remembers that. They all remember Miguel is the champion, and they are all going to remember Tori is the champion. What to expect in season 5? We are definitely getting Mike Barnes back. I want to know what this guy has been doing for the past 30 years. I'm hoping he's still a raging asshole. I want to see him fight Johnny, Chosen, and Daniel. We are getting more Cobra Kai dojos, but what's happening to their best fighter, Robbie? He doesn't seem to like Cobra Kai anymore. Same thing with Tori. She's going to stick with Silver after knowing what happened with the ref? The only one I can count on to be an evil asshole is Kyler. But Kyler has been owned in every fight. I don't see that changing. So who is going to be the main antagonist in Cobra Kai that is not a sensei? Chosen has surprisingly joined Daniel with Miyagi-Do. That should be really interesting. Now, I trust the writers on this show, but I am not looking forward to Miguel's arc in Mexico. I don't know who his dad is, and why should we care? Why should we be distracted from the dojo war in the valley? As for his girlfriend Samantha, I think the door is wide open for Robbie to return to Miyagi-Do and play slip and slide with Samantha, leaving Tori out to dry and fucking over Miguel again. I know it will be amazing, but I got a lot of questions for season 5. What did you think of season 4 of Cobra Kai? What did you like? What didn't you like? What do you want to see in season 5? Join the project, subscribe to the channel.